My name is María de Los Ángeles Paredes Martínez. I am currently studying law school at the Universidad de Quintana Roo, the third semester pre-intermediate English course. I'm going to present my final project about timeline of the establishment of National Human Rights Commission in Mexico. On June 6, 1990, National Human Rights Commission in Mexico was created through the presidential decree signed by then President Carlos Salinas de Gortari to monitor the human rights practices of government institutions and promote increases respect for fundamental rights in Mexico. On 1991, in response to the claims of one of the social sectors of great importance in the cause of the human rights, the so-called Special Program for Journalists was created as an area of special attention. This program's main objective is to address complaints about alleged human rights violations committed against both groups, thereby ensuring that the authorities commit to respecting their rights and acquire greater sensitivity to the activities carried out by journalists and civil defenders. January 28, 1992, CNDH was elevated to the constitutional rank and under the legal nature of the centralized organization with its own legal personality and assets, thus giving rise to the so-called national non-jurisdictional system for the protection of the human rights. (1993) The rights of victims of crime and human rights violations are constitutionally recognized and protected in Article 20 of the Political Mexican Constitution. 1999, CNDH was constituted as an institution with full management and budgetary autonomy, changing its name to National Commission of Human Rights. Let's review up to here. This is the first part of the timeline. Go with me to continue. June 22, 2007. The National Mechanism for the Prevention of Torture was established in the CNDH through the Third General Inspectorate. It was not until June 26, 2017, when the General Law to Prevent, Investigate and Punish Torture and other cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. In 2011, in Mexico, the constitutional reform opens for the first time the possibility of protecting through jurisdictional mechanisms the validity of constitutional provisions that enshrine economic, social, cultural, and environmental rights, and specifically in this area, those that provide for the obligations of the Mexican state in the areas of democracy, in development, and therefore the correlative rights in favor of the population. February 19, 2018. The Business and Human Rights Program is created as the strategic plan of the CNDH with the purpose of incorporating in its work agenda companies in the respect for the human rights. (2019) 2019, regarding the recognition of Afro-Mexican peoples and communities. It was established in the supreme norm. They are part of the multicultural composition of the nation so they will have the rights indicated in the aforementioned Article 2. 2020. The President of the Commission issued the general guidelines for the renewal of the CNDH, in which she proposed the beginning of an institutional reengineering to carry out a more efficient and less costly to carry out a more efficient and less costly management of the CNDH. In conclusion, I would like to say that Mexico has a long debt with human rights. We are preceded by a long history of violations, but also of omissions in its defense, which reached to a great extent the performance of the National Commissions of Human Rights created in 1990. It is a reality that before its creation, for our country, the panorama was too discouraging since nobody was watching over the respect of the human rights. But also because of the delay in the resolution of complaint files, the low issuance of recommendations, and the invisibility of serious human rights violations, and the wasteful management of its budget, the need for a total reform was considered. In 2020, the President of the Commission issued the General Guidelines for the Renovation of the CNDH, in which she proposed the beginning of an institutional reengineering that will allow for a more efficient and less costly management, and this transformation is currently underway. I appreciate so much your attention. Thank you.